All right, well, I don't really know how to start these, so oh well. Here is an update video for the channel. It's been a while. And I just wanted to update some things, you know, keep you guys updated on the car, what I've done with it. And here's what I've done with it, is the car now. Some things have obviously changed. So, what to start with? Well, those with keen eyes will have noticed the fat supercharger up here. This is a VMP Gen 2 2.3 liter TVS, so it's like a twin scroll. About 650 on pump gas, 800 on ethanol, and this was a used kind of deal here. A buddy of mine saw this on Facebook. It was kind of near me. Messaged the guy, got it for about 2,300 with without shipping, but you know, goes up a little bit. Came with brackets, and I had to buy obviously most of the cooling system. So it mounted to the engine fine, but he didn't have a lot of the he was using a lot of the cooling components, so extra coolant thing there. There's a VMP triple pass heat exchanger down here with an electric Bosch pump. And yeah, the motor has now become very fun. 650, or you know, you could round it down to maybe 600 since it's a truck motor. It's still super fun. Obviously some minor things like, I don't know, what do they call them, oil collectors or whatever right there. And then there are some major things to the wiring. So there's one thing that needs to be touched on, because I don't remember if I touched on it in the old video or in any of the old videos. The power wire for the control pack, right? This confused me a lot because the instructions say 4 AWG, 4 AUG, and I'm a dumbass, so that confused, like, I'm not just a dumbass, I'm a specific dumbass, right? So like, they say 4 AWG, and I think that's different from 4 gauge. Here's a tip, it's not. That 4 AUG just means 4 gauge. You need a 4 gauge wire for power going from the terminal on the distribution box to wherever you have the battery connection going. Obviously mine battery is in the rear, so it's a little different here, but it also needs either the newer instructions say 100 amp fuse, the older instructions say 250 amp fuse. I have a 250 amp inline fuse in here, so you also need that. All right, just to make sure that was cleared up. Very important detail there, because I was wondering why my fuses were blowing all the time. It's like I didn't understand. 4 gauge wire with a 250 amp fuse, just go with it, it'll work out fine. Other than that, right, we will go to the paint. So this is a Mako paint job on a Cervini kit, Cervini stalker kit, I believe. Well, yeah, it is a Cervini stalker kit. And I have been told it looks very good, especially for a Mako paint job, and I agree. Ignore the shitty dry job there. But so this is a very specific instance. This was not exactly a cheap paint job, even from a place like Mako. Long story short, the only reason this Mako paint job looks so good is because the whole car had to come down to metal or primer. That old black paint job it used to have lacquer crack on every panel, so they just went ham, went on the whole entire car, brought it all down to metal, and that's why their paint laying doesn't look half bad. When I brought it back a few weeks later for paint and touch up, the Mako specialty cheap bullshit started coming into play, and you can see that they don't exactly do the best job at specific things. But because they had originally had to bring this whole car down to metal, the initial paint job came out very nice looking, because they essentially gave themselves a clean slate. And the guy who did the body work, so not the paint but the body work, essentially filling in little rust spots, and I think he did some of the sanding. He was very into Mustangs, so I think the prep for this car got a little bit of a special treatment from him. it's always nice to see that there are actual car guys working on the car, so that's why I think it turned out pretty good. And I felt so bad because I brought it to him in a wreck. The supercharged motor was not fully complete yet. It was just barely running, and the hood was just kind of hanging over the air filter because obviously it doesn't fit. I had the old hood on for a while, not anymore. Other than that, I mean, I have the hood for this kit. This kit came with a hood. I'm just waiting to figure out a solution to that intake right there. Other than that, we have, you know, racing seat, because some fat ass guy at Mako sat on my old one and broke the bracket. Like I said, I'll do a full review of this Mako paint job later and the way I got treated there, so, you know, decently and not decently by others. But racing seat because the old one broke. And yes, I know, I'm not feeling the white either. I did it myself. I thought it would be like, oh, you know, I'll make it match the secondary color, which is essentially the white tire stickers, and it didn't come out how I wanted it to. It's obviously still kind of dirty, so I'm changing that up. But other than that, you know, interior's pretty stock, just with the gauges and everything being the exception. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this update video about the car. So I'll release a video reviewing this paint job, how I got treated there, what it was all like, and then after that, if you guys want, I will release a video on kind of supercharger install. It's not like it's a hard thing to do. You know, your coolant hoses, maybe mounting the pumps and the heat exchanger, because VMP makes really good triple pass heat exchangers that keep this thing cool as a breeze. But there is a trick to mounting them in, you know, a car that's 15 years older than the car it was meant to go on. So we can review all that if requested, and if there are specific questions, I'll leave my socials down below. So this was the quick update, just for the people who came to the channel before and those who might be new. And until next time, yeah, that's it. I'm terrible at ending videos, guys. See you next time.